What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, some of the biggest stories already this year have been names attached to direct the Fantastic Four in the absence of Jon Watts, who directed the Spider-Man trilogy for Marvel and Sony and was already attached to direct the Fantastic Four reboot, but amicably and for reasons unknown decided to part from the project. Since then, names like Bryce Dallas Howard, even John Krasinski himself, have been named to be the frontrunner for the project, but last night we got a huge update coming from a trusted industry insider over at Deadline explaining exactly what's going on with the search for a director over at Marvel Studios for the reboot of the First Family. We're breaking down everything he said and how it relates to the rumors about the directors we've already heard and whether or not John Krasinski would actually be back as Mr. Fantastic in our own 616 continuity. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider scoop like we're covering today, and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so as I mentioned just moments ago in the prologue, it's really been the perfect confluence of events in the media that have made all these Fantastic Four directing headlines feel very real. First, Jon Watts leaves the project, then right behind that, we see John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic in the Multiverse of Madness. Cue up all the reports about him and Bryce Dallas Howard, and it felt like an official announcement might be right around the corner, but not so fast. And this coming last night from Justin Kroll, the senior film reporter over at Deadline, one of the most trusted Hollywood trades and a reporter who has quite a track record stemming back over the years. This is what he had to say about the director search over at Marvel Studios for the Fantastic Four, quote, "While it's easily Marvel's top ODA, one source says don't expect it to be filled anytime soon, as they are not even close to cutting down the long list of candidates," offering the quote from one of his sources that they'd be shocked if a choice is made before Labor Day. He goes on to say, while no names have surfaced, multiple sources say while it's a large mix of candidates, Feige and company are taking a lot of shots at some big names. Quote, "One source close to the process says Kevin doesn't want to oversee an entire shoot, and after not having to worry about that with Raimi, he is very game to the same outcome with this shoot." Now, while there is quite a bit to unpack here, and I want to mention some things specifically, the overall takeaway here is it sounds like they are very early in the process, where with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Scott Derrickson exited and Sam Raimi was announced. It sounds almost as if they had that project in the door open, someone in mind. This sounds as though they've been working on Jon Watts being the director the whole time, and truly he left the project. That's me reading between the lines, but not rather them letting him go for someone else, rather him saying, hey, there's other stuff I'd rather work on, like his announced Star Wars project, leaving Marvel Studios truly to start the process of looking for a director all over again at square one, which leaves the door wide open to get the best director they can if truly there was no one standing right behind him ready to take up the reins, or as some of those reports indicate, John Krasinski giving them the final okay to co-direct the project while he's starring on it. Seems like those reports are a little erroneous, but guys, remember, these are industry insiders for a reason. They have a track record, and a lot of these stories can be true at the same time because of the ubiquitous nature of the industry. So don't use one to debunk the other, just use all of the information together to paint a picture. Speaking of which, I don't think I gotta remind you guys, and Marvel Studios is acutely aware that this is going to be the third time that they are attempting to bring the First Family to the silver screen, and with the two absolutely horrible attempts by Fox previous to this and how poorly it was received by both critics and fans alike, the pressure to get this right is extremely high. The IP has proven to be difficult to bring to the silver screen, and the bigger director you get, the more proven name you get. Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that the final product they get is probably closer to something that fans will like. But the pressure is actually even higher than that, because as of right now, in amidst the middle of a saga that has not been named, we do not have a major team currently in the MCU, and by extension, a character like Steve Rogers and or Tony Stark in the way that Reed Richards will be the quarterback of that team and the point of view character for a lot of us viewers to latch onto. That is what's currently missing right now, and in lieu of it seeming like there's no plans for an Avengers 5 or X-Men, at least before the next major crossover, not only is Fantastic Four going to have to outdo and outshine the two previous terrible attempts by Fox, it's also going to have to hold the weight of being the only major team in the MCU, and at the current time, crossing over with all those characters and holding the major audience interest. There is a lot riding on this film. So when his source tells Justin Kroll that Kevin Feige doesn't want to oversee an entire shoot, and after not having to worry about that with Raimi, he's definitely looking for the same thing, I get that 100%. So be looking for it to be one of these classic names in cinema that has handled a huge blockbuster, is extremely familiar with not only the superhero genre, but the action genre in general, how this is going to go in front of, behind the camera, and has a very, very clear vision for what he wants from the film. Speaking of which, there generally is an order to these type of things, and yeah, you wouldn't normally have a casting director like Marvel Studios' Sarah Flynn start to bring on names and actors for specific projects until they can read for them, generally after a story and a script has been generated, which is generally after you hire a director. But do not panic. That does not mean that John Krasinski has any less a chance of being Mr. Fantastic if indeed they've already decided him to be so. Marvel Studios has in the past cast certain actors in roles before they've attached directors and stories, and they did it even for a Marvel Phase 4 project we haven't seen yet. Mahershala Ali's casting as Blade is what set off the entire production for that project. So it does not mean that we will not get John Krasinski as Reed Richards. It doesn't even mean that he won't direct the film. Him and Bryce Dallas Howard may have already been part of those discussions as part of a long list of directors that they believe in. But guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. If it's not Krasinski, Bryce Dallas Howard, or one of the other names that have come up like Peyton Reed, who do you got from around the industry? Quite honestly, I don't think he's right for this project, but I would love Zack Snyder to come into the MCU. I personally want him to do a super dramatic X-Men project. That's on me. I made the joke about Quentin Tarantino doing one as well, and you guys seem to really respond to that, although, come on guys, not in any universe, not in the 616, the 838, the 2099, or any other universe in the world is Quentin Tarantino doing a Marvel movie. Oh man, I honestly can't even imagine. But let me know all your thoughts down below, what director you have in mind for the Fantastic Four. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Okay, we're still giving away PlayStation 5s all the way up to 1 million subscribers every 20,000. We just dinged the last milestone at 960 and announced that last week, and now we're headlong into the next giveaway at 980. If you want to be entered to win one of the PlayStation 5s or any of the ongoing giveaways here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the channel has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me over on Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes under the name Allfires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking that channel out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.